Hello, curling fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Broom Brothers, the official podcast of the curling group and the Grand Slam of Curling. And look, the AMJ Masters is in the book. It's time for an interview episode. Sorry we didn't have an episode last week, but both Robbie and I were away at the AMJ Masters. We are going to try to find ways to record episodes when we are away at slams. Couldn't get that set up in time for London. So here we are 1 week later, and who better to talk to? We've got a double pack of interviews. First time, well, not the first time. I guess we've had the Pride panel. We also did the International Women's Day special. But for the first time, two winners we're going to be talking to on the show today, focusing on the men's side of things. Matt Dunstone back in the winner's circle. His first slam win since 2019, and Danny Casper, perhaps the next great hope in American curling, won the Tier 2. We're going to talk to both of them about their wins, what's going on in curling, where they see their futures, and, some great stories along the way. So without further ado, we're going to start with Matt Dunstone. Then we're going to talk to Danny Casper. They're going to be great. Enjoy. I am pleased to be joined by Matt Dunstone, the newly minted AMJ Masters champion. And first of all, congratulations, Matt. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Pleasure.
The Masters is the only one I can take home, I guess.
Hey, sometimes, I feel like people have either ones they win all the time or ones they lose all the time. Like Rachel's got 18, no players. So,
no players, really?
No players. She still doesn't have the career Grand Slam.
I have a funny feeling that's going to come.
Me too. I think she's going to have at least 5 or 6 more chances. Yeah, I think so. Your bet is probably good. It's a brand new season of the Broom Brothers. I do run everyone through the top 4 off the top of the show, but because it's a new season, 4 brand new questions. You are the first person to get these questions. Are you ready?
I've never been more ready, John.
You're just going to give me the first answer that pops into your mind real quick. Okay. If you have the middle seat on a plane and you're stuck between 2 curlers, who do you want on either side of you? Can't pick your own team. Can't pick Aaron.
Colton Flash and Ross White.
Oh, man. Okay. So you don't want to remember the flight is what you're saying.
Not if I'm in a middle seat. Absolutely not.
What's your favorite curling club on earth that's not your home club?
Oh, Granite Curling Club in Winnipeg.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah. Who is the driver on your team and why?
Oh, man. We kind of flip-flop a little bit. I would say I do majority of it just because I'm a control freak.
You don't trust anyone else?
No, I don't. So I do majority of it, but I've passed the baton a little bit this season. I'm trying to get out of my element a little bit.
You're trying to let go.
Yeah, it's scary as hell.
Okay, last one. Would you rather win a mixed doubles Olympic gold medal or the Brier?
Brier.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think fairly easily Brier.
Yeah. Well, you paused for a second, so I wasn't sure.
No, I just wanted to make sure that I was as sure as I was that it was the Brier.
Well, I guess also now you've lost it twice, so you feel very hungry to finish it off.
Yes. Yeah. Getting very good at losing that final.
Hey, I'm great at losing finals too, man. You're talking to the right guy here.
It's really easy to lose finals.
Honestly, in my experience, it's really easy to lose before the final as well.
Actually, after I won my first slam in 2019, we went on a 12-game losing streak right after.
Really?
That. Yes, we did.
12 games?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we celebrated for a month too long.
Is it because you took that hat off?
Well, that hat needed to come off, or I was going to prison.
Where do you still have that hat?
Of course I do.
Yeah, but you've never brought it back out. I feel like we would see it like as a lucky charm at some point.
Yeah, I did bring it with me to the Kelowna Brier last year.
Okay.
Just as a bit of a lucky charm.
Yeah.
Wasn't so lucky, so it went back into the box, never to be seen again.
Back into storage. Now, on the topic of mixed doubles, your partner, Aaron Pincott, very accomplished curler. You guys have not really tried the mixed doubles game. Would that be a home wrecker for you guys?
No, it wouldn't. We played a little bit.
Well, some people, I think, genuinely, they play a couple mixed doubles tournaments together and they're like, oh, we need to save our marriage, actually.
Yeah. No, we played maybe 3-4 events. I had a lot of fun. We went up to Johnny Moe's event in Banff a couple times.
Yeah.
Over Christmas we played. It's just tough. Like she's got a full-time job. I don't. I do nothing. It's just tough with the schedule. Like we travel a lot. Obviously, where we are in Kamloops, the travel's not great. So I mean, there's a fair bit of time on the road, and just to do it competitively, it would be a lot for the both of us. And I wouldn't be shocked if I float the idea past her every year about playing BC provincials.
Oh,
never really comes to fruition, which maybe I should talk to her about that after.
You should. Maybe I'll talk to her for you if you want.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it'd be fun. We have a good time with it. There wouldn't be a home wrecker for us, for sure.
Okay, that's good. Now, I want to talk about the AMJ Masters. You're back on top. You, as you alluded to earlier, your last win, 2019. First question. Really seemed like people were trying to get you to cry after you won. Have you noticed that? I feel like you're the only guy. Everyone's like, and are you feeling a little bit emotional right now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm an emotional guy.
Yeah.
It never, honestly, in that final or after we won, like felt a fair bit of relief, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of been knocking on the door, losing every semifinal under the sun at the Slams, lost one final. It was just like, holy moly, like we finally ever going to get this done, you know? And then it happened, you know, a little bit of relief. You know, we were most jacked for Colton, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, Colton's first one, obviously super deserving of that. Brothers got the career Grand Slam. So I mean, because I didn't cry doesn't mean I wasn't happy.
No, I know. I just thought it was funny that everybody was like, "Are you gonna cry? Are you feeling like you might want to cry?" Or like Devin kind of teed you up. You always get emotional. Are you feeling emotional right now?
I mean, emotional inside. Didn't show it outwardly to anybody this time around. I'm sure that'll come, but you know, it just felt a lot of relief and a lot of excitement, I would say.
Yeah, kind of a follow-up question to that, because I think, you know, when someone wins a big prize after a long, you know, like as you said, a long road of trying to get there, and you know, you win your first one 6 years ago, you probably feel like you're going to be winning one a year or one every couple years. And people always say, well, how'd it feel to finally win? And you're just going to probably go, yeah, good. I mean, it was good to win. So what I want to ask you is, how's it felt like the last 6 years, you know, trying to get there? Because I think is it something that's a lot, like that's very frustrating for you as a player? I mean, you've had a lot of successes, as you said, you've gone deep in a number of slams. You made the Brier final a couple of times. Like, where do the slams fit in terms of you measuring your own success? Was it very frustrating to not be winning? Like, talk me through that kind of 6-year process, that journey.
Yeah, I think the slams are one of, if not the most important driver to kind of show you where you stand, you know, with everybody else. It's the best 16 teams in the world on arena ice, in an arena setting, biggest kind of setting our sport's played in, right? Yeah, there was very frustrating moments. You know, I thought kind of once, you know, my team started qualifying in the slams relatively regularly, you know, just provided we keep getting those opportunities to make playoff runs, you know, eventually they were going to start to maybe come. And it's just so hard. Everybody's so damn good now, right? Like the difference between 1 in the world and 12 in the world is hardly anything, right? So, yeah, there was frustrating moments, but you know, it was also a huge driver, huge motivator, as well. You know, you want to be known as, you know, the guys or the team, to beat. And, you know, I credit a lot of, you know, guys like Brad Gushu, Brad Jacobs, Bruce Mowat, who have gone on these insane runs where they've won multiple slams in very small periods of time, you know, over the last decade or so. I would say those three have kind of been the slam guys, if you want to call it, over the last decade. And, you know, to have somebody to drive you like that, to, you know, this is what it looks like to be at the top. I mean, that's a huge motivating factor, and I'm thankful to have been around that for sure. Because as frustrating as it is, you just know, you're close, and it keeps you going.
What do you feel like then kind of gets you over the top in a given week? If 1 to 12 is so good, you don't know exactly when it's going to break through for you. Like, what was the key this week? What do you feel like happened? What was different? Was anything different? Like, how does a team win a slam? I mean, you're the first Canadian team to win a slam in over a calendar year also, by the way.
Yeah. It's it's funny. Like, honestly, we left that slam feeling like we've played a lot better in other slams. And the difference in this one is we made a lot of timely shots in key moments, and we got a handful of breaks when we need them. I think the Brad Jacobs hit in the fifth end where he gave us that in off, or we were going to give up a million. Like, that's case in point, the type of break that you need to win these types of events. And then on top of that, you have to take advantage of them too, which we did, and we shifted the momentum in that game, and kind of gave us a spark, and we didn't really miss a shot in that game after then. So I would chalk it up to those two things. You got to be timely, and you need things to go your way, and when they go your way, you have to take advantage of them.
What has EJ unlocked for your team? I think, they showed a graphic during the slams about how good your record has been since he's joined the team. It just, I think on its face, people thought you had a great team already with BJ, Colton at second. I mean, we see how good Colton is at third. You think of, wow, we had him at second actually before that. But it just does seem like EJ has unlocked something for you and your guys. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think you kind of look at our team, and we sort of have two sets of brothers together, the front end and the back end. Obviously the chemistry of the two brothers speaks for themselves. They've played together forever. I think they feel a little bit more at home now. And then Colton's my guy. I mean, I haven't won anything without him. And so to have him back, he feels like a brother to me. And, just the chemistry and the dynamic is very smooth. And, it's just everybody's in their right roles, is how I would frame it. And I mean, the spark and the energy and, the intensity and excitement that EJ brings, I think is something that the team needed. Relatively quiet guys, I would say, the three of us, me, Colton, and Ryan. And, EJ pulls that out of us, a little bit more. And, we're now, instead of a quieter team, we're a team that people hear all the time when we're out on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I don't know if there's a second that screams louder for his own shots than EJ. I mean, he goes into it. I feel like, we always talk about the skips needing like a cough drop throughout the week. I feel like EJ's in the same boat. He's going crazy back there.
Yeah, we share the same bag of cough drops throughout. It's awesome though, man. I love it. Like,
yeah,
just to show that sort of engagement, intensity, like, it gets me excited.
I love that. And you talk about Colton being your brother and how it's a good fit for you. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I'm curious on that too. I don't think anyone would have thought it wasn't good with BJ. You made a Brier final with him, had lots of success. What is it about Colton you think that kind of feels like he's in the right spot for you at third?
We see the game so similarly. I mean, the amount of time we've had together, I think this is probably year 8 or 9 with Colton. We're able to say, we're able to know what each other is thinking. I'll say exactly what he's thinking. He'll say exactly what I'm thinking. There's rarely ever any confusion when we're talking about whether it be tactics, technically, just anything curling in general. We're just, for whatever reason, like, we're just completely aligned in, how we see the game. And it's such a seamless process for us on and off the ice. And, it makes things very easy when, there's no back and forth trying to figure out if doing the right things. Like, the both of us are so all in on a single thing. And it's very easy to commit to shots as well when, you have that confidence that, the guy you're with sees it the exact same way you do.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, well said. I think fans don't necessarily see that kind of chemistry piece. I mean, they see things starting to work, but they don't necessarily get an insight into that. And I do think that is true for a lot of skips and thirds, that there's some level of sharing a brain. You are on a time crunch. It makes sense that it would help when you're, you both have that. So I think that's really interesting to hear. I want to talk about the Olympic trials. We are in the Olympic trials year. You just had your breakthrough at the slams after 6 years of not winning. Haven't had the breakthrough in Canada yet. I mean, you won multiple Canadian junior titles, but at the men's level, we've talked about it already, lost a couple Briars. There is precedent for people who have never won the Briar before to win the Olympic trials. What's something that you've targeted? Because it's so recent. I mean, we're talking 4 months ago, you were in a game to be the best team in Canada. What are you and the team identifying as like the thing you think you need to do to win that final game at the Olympic trials in December?
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
That's why I asked it.
I know. I think a large part of it is just not getting in our own way, with certain things, especially with what makes this team good, which is, obviously the dynamic, the energy that we bring, the tenacity. Like, we've been really good at coming back in games as well. Like, I think just being the best team over, 8 to 10, 11 ends, however many ends we play is a huge key for this team. And, I think getting the experience that we've had in, Briar final, Slam final now, as this team, those are invaluable moments. And, even after the Slam final, we've had, several hours to reflect on, things we might have done differently in that game. And getting down to the bottom as to why we did what we did and why we didn't like what we did. And just maximizing the awareness. I think these big events are so easy to pass you by super quick. And sometimes you don't even know what's going on, what you're doing in those types of moments. And that's when you need to maximize the awareness and really understand the moment that you're in. And I think, having played in a couple of those finals now with this specific group, I think, we're in a really good place for that to happen.
Is that something that you've struggled with in the past, like being present in the moment?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't pick out particular, events or games.
Sure.
I mean, maybe 2023 Briar final. I would say that one comes to mind instantly. I think it was just, a bit of a whirlwind, play the semifinal, slam down a quick sub, and then head back to the rink again. And you're just like, what's going on here? Like, this is my dream right in front of me, right? Whereas like the 2025 final, it was like, it was so different in that sense. It was a calming, like, been here before, understand exactly what, this is going to look like, what the arena is going to look like. We know Brian Mudrick's going to be there, slamming out his press conference in one hell of a suit before the game. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into. So I think that's stuff you begin to sort out over time. So I would say a lot earlier on, it was just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and, just try and will yourself to victory by making shots and whatnot, and didn't win much. But I think, I can say personally, I'm in a way better spot. I'd say my awareness and ability to really slow the game down and let it come to me in, bigger games, I'll call them, feel very comfortable, with that.
Nice. I do want to discuss your coach, Caleb Flaxey. I mean, you have a couple coaches, but I want to talk about Caleb in particular because you had mentioned just now debriefing the slam. Yes, it's great we won, but here are some things we're maybe identifying. I think the fans maybe don't know this as much, but Caleb's big asset as a coach is his understanding of analytics, big time stats guy. So I know fans still don't necessarily understand the role of analytics in curling. I was just curious how heavy you guys go on that. Like, for example, in the quarterfinals for Brad Jacobs, he made a comment that he believes he has the best intern in curling. As is his style. But I couldn't help but notice that in the semifinal, most of the shots that he missed against you were out turns. And so, is that something, is that how deep you guys are going with the analytics? How much of a part of your process is it? Obviously, I'm not expecting you to spill state secrets here or anything, but I'm just curious, and I'm sure the fans are too, how much of that plays into your strategy? Are you going as deep as we want this guy to be throwing this shot as many times as possible?
Yeah, I would say a little bit with that. I would say we don't go too deep into each individual on the team and, what a strength or weakness is. I mean, especially from a turn standpoint, guys can throw whatever turns they want. Look at JM Menard. He'll throw an out turn if it's an inch away from the wall going towards the wall, right? Like it doesn't matter. You can't really stop that, right? We'll look into things like what type of corner guard is the team going to throw typically? What side of the ice do they throw their corner guards? Leads obviously throw the same turn for the most part, large majority of the time. So we'll look into things like that. From a specific team standpoint, a lot of what we look into is win probability in particular situations. And, steals have been, a big aspect of, or a big focus for us, I should say, and trying to eliminate those. Trying to reel me in. I'm a overly aggressive skip at times.
You're the sheriff, baby. Bang, bang.
I am the sheriff. And, I think when we brought Caleb on last year, it was, taking a long look at, our steals, because man, our teams were giving up a lot of steals. So it's like, and when we don't give up steals, we have, a very high success rate. So I would say that's been the largest focus, is just eliminating steals, being smart with the hammer, doing our thing without the hammer, making sure we're not giving up big multiples. I would say that's where majority of the focus lies. And Caleb's brilliant. He's been phenomenal. Totally blew me away with the type of information that he has and he brings. And, he makes a very large difference on this team.
So you're talking about it for you guys. It sounds like, anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, for you guys, it's a lot about how you build ends. That is where the kind of stats come into.
Yes. How we build ends, and then keeping in the back of our minds, I'm trying not to give up too much away, but
that's fair. You can stop anytime.
I don't care. Everybody's so smart. Everybody knows if they want to look into it, they can find all this stuff too, whatever. It's just a large part of it is, really being aware on when we need to push, when we don't have to,
right.
And not unnecessarily getting us into situations that are going to eliminate, welcomed win probabilities for the team.
Now, just a couple more. I've been asking everybody this over the summer. I've had a bunch of the Rock League captains on. I feel like I know the answer for you anyway, but I think fans are always curious, because with an Olympic year also comes the turnover of a quadrennial. Are we seeing Matt Dunstone go another quad? Have you even thought about that yet?
Yeah, I'll be back. I keep joking with the team. If we win Olympics, win Worlds this year, I'm gonna hang them up and move on.
Yep.
But won everything. Then at that point, it's good. I can move on to trying something else. But yeah, I'm going to go another one. I love competing, everything. I feel old, but I'm not. So I feel
you're not old.
I know. I've just been around for a long time.
True. But if you follow the Brad Gujou model, you actually have 3 more quads in you, maybe 4.
Definitely not true.
All right, you heard it here first. Broom Brothers exclusive. Matt Dunstone will not be going 4 more quads.
Yes, I think if I'm going 4, there is a lot in my life that has gone wrong. I'll commit.
My personal life will be in shambles, but I'll be out there
in total shambles. Yeah, I don't want to put a number on anything I can't see.
No, for sure. Yeah,
I'd be shocked if it was 4 more. Very shocked.
Yeah.
But 3 seems very reasonable.
Okay, I love that. And do you think Colton a part of those plans? It sounds like you guys feel very comfortable together. Again, it's early, but I know teams are already talking. You feel like that's a partnership that also has the chance to last.
I sure hope so, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's my guy. We do so well together. So, I sure hope so. But I mean, you never know what life throws at you, right? and what other opportunities or, things pop up in life. That's the tricky part about this sport for sure is you really don't know on a quad to quad basis how your life is going to change. What's going to unfold. But yeah, obviously my guy, Colty.
Love it. Now, I know that you get asked about this a lot, but things are changing all the time. So it's always a worthy question to ask. I had Brent Lang on a couple episodes ago. We talked about rule changes. Your name specifically came up as someone who is very involved in that process just from the players' side. I know you work with World Curling as well. So, it seems like we're entering a season right now where the Slams are willing to try anything. Things are in flux. They're throwing stuff at the wall. I guess, number one, I'll ask you what you think of the rule changes thus far, like going to the shootout, the 3-2-1-0 point system. And then I'll just ask you what's a rule or a format change you are pushing for or you would be excited to see that maybe hasn't been tried yet.
Oh, my. Okay, we'll start with
the shootout. Maybe the cogs in the old brain.
I'm a very simple guy, so I need to do things one at a time here. So the current rules, I love the 3-2-1-0. I think that's phenomenal. I would do that every day of the week. I think
even if there was an extra end, you're saying like if you go to an extra end, then it's 2-1.
Yes. I'd prefer the extra end. Or I'm not a big fan of the draw to the button.
Okay.
I don't know if it serves the purpose we hope it would from a drama standpoint.
Okay. So I think it's a time standpoint is more the issue than a drama standpoint, I would say.
I agreed. Yes. So I'm not a huge fan of that part of it. I think the point system's a Yahtzee.
Okay.
So any event that has that sort of system, I'm in for. I think it's fun. I think it adds, a fun aspect for it with the fans too.
Yep.
I think you're going to see teams do unique things in situations they normally wouldn't in N6, 7, 8.
Yep. Yeah, we saw that this week for sure.
Yes, which I think is a very exciting aspect that it adds. Draw to the button, I don't know what the answer is. Maybe it just – no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say maybe it ends in a tie. That sucks.
you would rather the game end in a tie than go to a shootout?
No.
Okay.
I changed my mind.
Okay.
I was going that direction, but then I was thinking about the Sunday night football game between Dallas and Green Bay I was watching on the flight.
Nasty.
It was 3 hours, ended 40-40, and I just felt like an empty man after that.
Yeah, no one was happy.
Correct. So I was like, well, this sort of sucks. So I thought about it, and then I thought about my experience Sunday. No ties.
Okay, no ties. So,
I mean, if draw to the button needs to be what it's going to be, fine.
Fine, but you don't love it.
I don't love it.
Okay.
If there's a way to do something else, I'd be happy to.
And you don't love it because you don't think it creates any drama, or you just think it's not a fair way to decide a winner. What don't you like about it?
A bit of both.
Okay.
And I think it's very situational too, because you could have a game that, teams trade singles back and forth here and there, ends in a tie, two teams dead even, right? And then I think maybe the draw off is fair at that point because it was a 50-50 game.
Sure.
Everyone beat the crap out of each other for 8 ends. Well-played game, sure. But then I think you have situations where it's 5-2 coming home and one team is dominated, had a sloppy end, gave up a 3-ball, and suddenly it's 50-50 when one team's dominated 7 of the 8 ends.
Right. Whereas in an extra end scenario, that team would have hammer and is like 85% to win.
Correct,
or
right?
Higher.
So that's the part I struggle with. And I know there's arguments to poke holes in exactly what I just said too.
Sure. Well, that's curling. That's arguing in general. So
yes, and curlers love to argue.
Oh, don't we ever?
Yeah. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, we were talking shootout. We were talking 3-2-1-0, and then I just asked you what rule change you would be excited to see, or what you think the players are wanting. Whatever, the floor is yours. I think I'm open to hearing what you're thinking.
A brand new rule change. My goodness.
Well, can I throw one at you that I do think the Slams are considering that I know you and I both liked at the Best of the West, 1 blank per team.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did that. That was fun. I did like that. Honestly.
I liked that too. I thought it was good, and I do think there are some conversations behind the scenes that the Slams might try it.
Yeah, I honestly think we should. I thought at my event, or it was a phenomenal success.
I liked it a lot.
Hardly saw any blanked ends, and it was a huge strategic point for all those
Big
teams
time.
too.
Yeah.
And how stuff looks later in the game, and it added a very exciting element. So I mean, thanks for reminding me.
Hey,
That one would be very exciting.
I'm giving you credit. You have a great event, and that's a rule change that I think worked well. So for fans who don't know, this would be each team is allowed one blank per game. You can use it whenever you want, but let's say what we're talking about, the team with the hammer. So if you have the hammer in the first end and you blank the first end, then any end for the rest of the game, if you blank it, you lose the hammer. So that's what we're talking about. And yeah, I don't remember the exact stats, but I want to say at the entire Best of the West, there was less than 10 blanked ends across all the games because teams are trying to save it, but then you get too late in the game and you need some kind of score on the board. And so it just almost never ends up getting used.
Yeah. And I think if my memory serves me correct, we even saw teams nose the blank attempt in the first end.
Yes, exactly.
Say, no, we got to save this sucker.
Yeah, 100%.
We're going to bonk it and move on. So
yeah.
I think that adds a very exciting element. The only other one that comes to mind, I don't know if this is a rule change or not, but we need standardized draw formats desperately.
Yeah.
For events. There's some wild ones out there that the leash has gotten a little bit too long on the type of event formats that get thrown at a lot of teams throughout a tour season.
Yes. Well, I think, maybe we're going to see some of those crazier ones on the Slam circuit this year.
I know. We got one coming up.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We do. I believe Tahoe is going to get a little bit wild, but
I haven't heard about that one yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I can tell you off air.
Yeah.
It's you might like it. You might like it. We'll see.
But, that's never a good starting point.
I like it, but I'm a commentator, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it sounds fun for you and miserable for the players.
Yeah, well, that's kind of that's our goal, really.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. How unhappy can we make the players?
Yeah.
Last question from me. As you know, every podcast I try to dig up some dirt on my interview subject, and I've interviewed you now quite a number of times, so I'm digging deep for this one. And I sometimes I'll get some suggestions from sources and I'm like, oh yeah, that's maybe like a question they would expect. I think you have no idea what I'm about to ask you, and I'm thrilled to hear about it. I would love to know the story about how you cheated on a trombone test.
Come on.
How's that possible?
Well, let me tell you. Grade 9.
Okay.
I was the worst trombone player by a landslide. It was like school for me was like do well, but never do more than you need to.
Sure. Right.
So band was like, that's an easy credit.
Sure.
Try and hammer through credits. So my grade 12 year can just be one class a semester.
Yeah.
So band in grade 9, I basically needed to ace my last test to make the band trip to Minneapolis.
Okay. Yeah.
Which
you had to have a certain average in the class to get invited.
Correct. So I was just below that average.
Okay.
So I needed to ace my band test, which of course I had never done.
Right. You're like, this is new territory for me.
Very new territory. So pressure was on.
Yeah.
And so luckily, one of my best friends in high school at the time was a trombone player, and he was one hell of a trombone player.
Okay.
So how our band tests work is band teacher gave you, like a 30-second, I don't even know which, I'm so clueless when it comes to music. Yeah. Anyways, you had to play a 30-second song.
Yeah.
With the trombone. And how you did it is inside the band room, we had this separate private room.
Okay.
And you'd go in, you'd press the tape recorder, you'd play it.
So it wasn't in front of the teacher. That feels like a key aspect.
It was not. No.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happened was, at the time, I thought I was being sneaky. So my buddy said, oh yeah, no problem. I'll get you on this band trip. So we both went into this room. We both went into the room. I hit the record button. I said, Matt Dunstone playing blah, blah, blah. He went and played for me. Press stop. Test results come back the next day. Nailed it. 10 out of 10. So then red flags started going up. Bad teachers.
Right. The teacher's like, whoa, Matt's never done this before.
Yeah. There's like the odds of this happening when you need to ace this to go on a band trip does not make sense. So the next day on the intercom, hear my name, need you down at the principal's office. And I'm like, oh man, here we go. So I find out there was a tiny little window in the band office or in the band room where we play the test. And one of the girls saw us both go in and looked in and watched him play for me.
Oh no, you got ratted out?
I got ratted out.
Oh no.
I did. So the principal brought me in, said, Matt, we know you were a little dishonest with your band test. Is there any truth to that? And yep, you caught me. Like, yeah. I got 10 out of 10. I've been living in the 5, 6, 7 out of 10s all year. Like, of course this wasn't me. Like, I didn't pull a rabbit out of my hat. I didn't practice. Like, so I got ratted out, got caught, ended up not going on the band trip to Minneapolis. Lesson learned. Didn't join band the next year.
Wow.
I was brutal at it.
Wow.
How the hell did you find that out?
I can never tell.
That's incredible.
Thank you. I never reveal my sources, but I knew as soon as I heard that piece of information that was going to be a great story for the podcast, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your big AMJ Masters win. Looking forward to seeing you in Nisku, and good luck at the points bet this week, my friend.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
All right. I am pleased to be joined by the newly crowned Tier 2 AMJ Masters champion, Danny Casper, the Ghost Man. Congratulations, Danny. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Broom Brothers, your debut performance on the show.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
My pleasure. Now, Danny, we do start every interview with the top 4. I'm going to ask you 4 questions in quick succession. I want you to give me the first answer that pops into your head. And same thing with Matt Dunstone, because this is a new season. It is a new set of 4 questions. So you, along with Matt, are getting the dry run here, the first go at these questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you are in the middle seat on a plane and you have to have 2 curlers next to you, not your teammates, which 2 curlers are you choosing?
Whoa. I'd probably say Mark Kennedy.
Yep.
He was one of my favorite curlers growing up. And who else? Johnny Mo. Why not?
Why not? Eh? Get all the stories from that era. They'll tell you a lot how great they were back then. So strap in for that. Hopefully the flight's not too long, or you're going to get a lot of stories. Now, what is your favorite curling club that's not your home club?
I'd say Cape Cod Curling Club.
Cape Cod. They have a curling club there.
Yeah, Cape Cod. We would play the summer spiels every summer in juniors growing up.
Oof.
The club is cool, but the memories and like just Cape Cod itself is sweet. Like
I gotta get to the CCCC.
Oh,
that sounds like a great place to be. Who is the driver on your team and why?
Luke Violet. He's definitely a driver. He rents the car. And I think if he wasn't driving, he would get upset with who was driving. So
makes sense. Final question. Would you rather win mixed doubles Olympic gold or 4-person world championships?
Wow. Well, considering I don't play mixed doubles, I'd probably get in trouble if I don't say 4-person. So we'll go with that.
All right. Hey, fair. No, I like that. I like that. Now, I don't always ask this of everyone, but I'm always intrigued by American curlers' stories. And I think a lot of fans maybe wouldn't know about you. And I don't know the answer to this question, but like, how did you start curling? You're from a small town in New York. How did you find your way to the curling ice?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of family in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where it's a lot more popular for starters. And my great aunt and uncle, my great aunt was in the Olympics, and my great uncle coached the Olympics in Nagano. So my dad, when he moved to New York, just kind of tried it just because he was like, oh, I got to try it. Like my family did it. And then I think the main driver of getting me into it was I grew up in the same town as the Superas, Andrew Supera,
Yep.
Dropkins. So we went to the same school and whatnot. And he's a little bit older than me, so he was already kind of into it. And I was still playing every other sport. And we just he got me into it, and it kind of almost became that little like sibling rivalry almost, where I wanted to try to catch him.
Yeah.
And he got me into it.
I love it. Now, I've been calling you the Ghost Man online for about 5 years now, ever since I found out who you were. Have you had some form of ghost-related nickname your whole life, or is this new for curling? Because you got the little ghost in your logo and everything. Is this new, or have people been calling you the friendly ghost, the Ghost Man, for your whole life?
Yeah, no, this is brand new. Never, no one ever made a joke or anything about the Casper name. I think a lot of my friends liked saying my last name,
Sure.
so they just call me by my full name.
Yeah.
This is new.
Nice. So what you're saying is the fact that there is a ghost in your team logo is because of me.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
now,
well done.
We talked about it off the top. This is your second Tier 2 win. Did it feel any different than the first? Did it feel any better? Did it feel like, we've been here, done that? Talk me through the feelings after taking home the title this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, obviously both are great. I don't know. I think this one was probably felt a little bit better, just because, I mean, I guess one, recency bias, but two, like, I feel like our team had been through a lot the last couple of years, so it just felt good to kind of really the whole start of the season kind of just come together, like put a lot of good games together, good wins, and we kind of won in a similar way a couple of years ago of like going 2-2 and just kind of like playing okay in the round robin and like finding our way, and then just kind of putting it together in the playoffs. So that was pretty satisfying to just kind of turn it on a little bit there.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about these challenges, because I talked with you about this quite a bit last year, but the fans may not know this, especially outside the U.S. Outside the U.S. Jesus, my XLR cable is very touchy. I can't touch it, and I just did. That's my bad.
I'm worried
but yes,
about the takeoff with the fan going.
I know, it's horrible. We're good now. We're good. You've had some health challenges over the last couple of years. You weren't playing for a lot of last year. I know you had some different lineups, things going on. You were at curling tournaments, but you couldn't play. Tell me about that. What were some of the things you're dealing with? How is it now? How does it look long term? Because obviously, I mean, you've had a great start to the season. Seems like things are good at the moment. Walk me through where you're at.
Yeah, well, I guess, about a year and a half ago, I got sick with it's called Guillain-Barré, where basically like your immune system attacks your nerves. Don't recommend it. Not
I was going to say, that sounds bad right off the hop.
I would try to avoid it if you could.
Yeah.
So, I kind of, I guess, realized the hard way how important nerves are. I mean, everyone knows they're important, but I was like, geez, like you can't do anything. But like there was probably a good like few months where I just like I said, could not do anything. Like had trouble walking, like couldn't use my hands, like all this sort of stuff that I could go on and on about. But didn't play probably more than half of last season. But my team did an amazing job. We had a new skip like every weekend at some event, and they'd show up and like meet them for the first time and like still put up a decent result. So it was kind of a lot. I'm doing a lot better now. Like, as you said, been playing the whole season so far. And, there's been no question of like, maybe I'm not going to play this game. Maybe I will, like, hasn't crossed the mind at all. So looking good for the future down the road. Still a little bit of like issues. Like my hands don't work too great, like dexterity and whatnot. I was kind of joking, like, we were playing in Italy recently, and like, you go to clean the rock, and like I just like couldn't do it, like lift it up or whatever. So, Ben and Aiden started cleaning my rocks, and I'm like, other teams must think I'm like such a dick. And I'm just
prima donna, clean my rock for me, boys.
Like, clean my rock, yeah. So I was wondering if people thought that, but no, it was out of necessity. But I guess doing a lot better now.
That's crazy. So was it like in terms of you doing better, was it just that like you needed a diagnosis so that you kind of knew how to treat it, or like why is it better now than it was a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think a few things that for a lot of last season, we didn't know what it was. So that's obviously challenging for many reasons and also just scarier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like trying different medicines, I think just like time also, like your nerves heal over time. There's not a ton you can really do about it, I learned throughout the process, which that was interesting to hear from doctors. They're just kind of like, that sucks. Like, good luck with that.
Cool. Love when a doctor tells you,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Good try out there.
Yeah, and, I think probably just, like, getting used to it too, like, getting used to how to deal with it, like,
Right.
I don't know, you try sleeping with, like, your hands and feet tingling every night is, not a fun challenge, but, yeah, it definitely gotten better, and I don't know, it's, kind of I guess, was a new reality for a while, so, just kinda learned how to deal with it a little bit. Could not ask for more out of teammates, friends, coaches, like, my
Yeah.
team, as I mentioned, playing with different people all the time, like, you know, half the time I'd be playing an event and, like, they wouldn't even know if I was playing the next game, and, like, we played the nationals, we had a different lineup every game, like, I only played every other, like, so, you know, just thinking back to that, like, how crazy that is that they would just switch like that and still play pretty well throughout the year, and, you know, the US program had my back, all sorts of stuff, so, yeah, I mean, as much as it sucked, it was kind of also a nice way to see, like, how much people care about you,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is awesome.
Maybe it's a testament to your ability as well. They're like, we gotta protect the ghost man. If we can't be without him. You know,
We
like
just
for
can't
me, if I
lose
had it, they'd be like, whatever. I don't
can't
know,
lose
John,
such a
maybe
good
sit out.
nickname, you know? I think that was probably what it was. It's like, we think we've found someone with a great nickname, it might just we are gonna have to make this work.
No, Danny, don't be modest and undersell your ability. We all know how good you are. And I do want to, it has been a great half year for you now that as you said, you played at nationals. You've had a great start to this season. Obviously, the tier 2 win. You're now into the top 16. It's possible you could stay in that range, get into some slams later in the year. I mean, you'll get into one based on your tier 2 victory, but maybe even some on your own merit. What do you like about your team? It feels like it's really starting to come together for you guys. What is it, other than obviously they supported you while you were sick and everything, but what do you like about the mix on your team right now that's kind of getting you into this conversation of being one of the top teams in the world?
Yeah, I think I've said for a couple of years now, I think a big reason why we've had some success is, like, I don't know if you could find 4 more different people from each other, like, just
Interesting.
so unique, and I think, like, it brings an interesting perspective, like, into obviously during the games, but, you know, also between games, just, like, talking about how we wanna do things, like, whether that be strategically, like, team dynamic-wise, like, everyone's just super different, and, like, you know, maybe that causes an issue, every now and then, as I'm sure, you know, every team has, but, like, I think we've done a good job of just, like, I don't know, I guess leaning into that and, like, knowing that everyone's just, like, bringing something different to the table. So I think that's probably a big reason, I'd say.
Nice. Do you think me like beating Luke a bunch when he was like 14 helped?
Yeah, he still talks about it every night. No, I appreciate
uh
it.
Yeah, I used to, obviously Luke grew up in Seattle. He used to play against his dad, Tom. That's aging myself and Tom as well. But used to play against his dad, Tom. And then when he got old enough, I can remember, and he was short. I mean, still is, but back then, you'd go out there and he was just a little guy, but he was, you could tell even at that age, he was going to be a special curler. And yeah, it's just funny to think back on some of those memories. But yeah, that's interesting because I feel like a lot of teams would say it's that everyone is sort of similar or thinks similar. Like Matt Dunstone just said that, like he feels like him and Colton are such a good pair because they think the same and they're on the same page all the time. So that's interesting that you've embraced those differences. Was that something you had to work towards, or you just felt like it somehow was this really great mix right from the start?
Yeah, definitely a lot of work. I mean, like still, Luke and I being in the back end, like he's a good example of just like, I don't know, maybe Ben and Aiden are a little bit more similar in their ways, but like if you could like write out every aspect of curling and like how you think about it or what you value or whatnot, I'd say Luke and I are on the two opposite ends of the spectrum. And it's taken, a long time and a lot of work and will continue to take a lot of work of just like, you know, working to get that a little bit closer and like, managing that and like being accepting of like what the other person needs. I've really enjoyed that process. It's been really hard. And like I said, will still be hard, but like, I think that's even more reason why the wins feel so much better is because like, we don't walk out there and it's just like we click and we think the same and like, now we've gotten to a point where it's a lot easier and we like, have found our ways to navigate it. But like just takes a lot, like when people are that different to like try to make something work, especially in such a unique sport like curling when there's just a few you out there. So, I think every event that we win, it's just like feels maybe a little bit nicer because it was just like you just know like how much time it took talking about like no, like when you say that, like it pisses him off and vice versa, and like blah blah blah. Like you can't do that. Yeah, but it's great. Like we're not having any other way.
That's cool. I mean, it feels neat that you embrace that because as a Canadian, you know what would have happened if two teammates were like that here. They would have broke up after a year.
Yeah.
So maybe a testament to the USA curling program. And I want to switch gears to talk about that a little bit. The US curling trials are coming up. There's only 4 teams in it. Your team is one of them. What's your mindset going in? Because I kind of feel like on the outside, like all 3 of the top teams, very matched. And then we have the pre-trials winner, Bear, who is, great young team, but I think, most people would expect they're not necessarily a contender to win. But right now, I believe you, Corey, and John are separated by about 5 world ranking spots. So very tightly matched, but you are the young guy. What is your approach going in? Do you kind of feel like there's not as much pressure on you as there is on those guys? Like, are you kind of trying to sneak under the radar here, or what's your mindset going into that?
No, I think to me and to us, like the expectation is to win. Like the expectation is always to win, no matter what event we're playing in. Like we could go to a tier 1 slam tomorrow, and the expectation would be to win. Like I always kind of struggle with hearing people talk about like the goal is to like make the playoffs or like get a certain ranking and stuff like that. And like I get it, and there's probably value to that, but like I've always had trouble wrapping my head around it. Like I'm just kind of like, your goal is to win every time you play, right? Like that's why you're playing. So your goal is to win every event, be the best in the world. And like, maybe you laugh at it. It's like, oh, you're not going to win this event or you're not going to be the best at this. But it's like, someone's got to do it. Like someone is number 1 in the world at all times, right?
That's
like,
correct. Yes.
I'm not saying we're going to do it tomorrow, but like that's always the goal, in my opinion. So something like the trials and like, especially where we know, like, us, Corey and John have played each other a bunch and all beat each other. So, it's obviously doable. I could see anybody winning, but, in terms of pressure though, like it may sound like it's adding a lot of pressure. I still don't view it that way though. Cause it's just, you're playing against great teams and like, as much as you want to win, like there's, you can control most of it, but maybe not all of it. And, the way that I play, as I'm sure a lot of people have seen, I kind of screw around a lot and maybe make jokes. And so I'm kind of just like that as a person anyways. But no, I can't wait. Like it's going to be super fun. I've never played in the trials before. So just kind of embracing the moment, how fun it's going to be. And yeah, I mean, the expectations to win, I don't think it ever should not be that. So we'll see what happens.
Love it. Love that mindset. That's great. I've been talking about this with Canadian teams, did talk about it with Corey too when I had him on in the summer. It does feel like we are at an interesting inflection point for USA curling. We've already seen John Landsteiner retire. Chris Plies has been kind of indicating he might retire. I think the question will be asked of John and Hammy and Huff after this season. Corey's team, who knows? where do you see your role in USA curling going forward? Like, are you sort of hoping, because we know that they're going to make the decision, you'll have some input, but ultimately they're going to make the decision. Are you hoping that all the work you've put in with this team, they're just going to keep you together? Do you see a shakeup coming? Is that something you're even thinking about? Where are you at with USA curling right now? Because it does feel like an interesting point in history.
Yeah, it is interesting kind of knowing what a lot of people are thinking, and seeing the age and whatnot and people's careers. It's kind of fun to think about, almost just as like almost like a fan, like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. But like as a player, you almost kind of try not to. And it's kind of a weird dynamic because like in the US, we're all super close, like all the teams. So, stuff comes up and whatnot. But like for the time being, like I have my team. I hope I continue to have my team, right? Like for however long. You mentioned, growing together. Like I think there's a lot of beauty in struggle, and kind of going through that together. And, it makes winning so much better. And, I think having that feeling and chasing that feeling of like going through stuff with people and then winning is something that I want to experience, whether that be now or in the future with these guys. So we'll see what happens, in terms of how much say, like, I don't even know. Like,
I feel like different USA curlers have told me different things about how much say they think they have.
Yeah,
so.
It depends, I guess. But I would love to play with my team as long as I could.
Nice. I love that. I mean, this has been a great chat. I think really good glimpse into your mindset. If you're not a household name, I know you are getting there in the USA, but in the world, I think, you're one of the young guys that's going to be pushing this sport forward. And so it's great to hear all of this from you. I do want to finish with a question. I tend to try to do some research on my guests, see if I can dig something up. I got to be honest. Seems like everybody likes you and they don't want to like throw you under the bus or whatever.
Did you hear?
But I do hear that if we ever have dinner together, I need to plan to be there for a long time because you're apparently the slowest eater on the face of the planet. Can you care to comment on that?
I think you should enjoy your meal. Like, no rush. Sometimes there's a rush, but literally, I think every meal that we have, it concludes with like someone getting mad at me. So, how long it's been, and I'm not done. We do still have meals too, where like people just get up and leave, and I'm not done.
But wow, you're that slow, eh? People are like, I can't wait anymore.
Yeah, I guess it's time to go. Like, I don't know, but I have gotten the green light to just order first and immediately start eating, because, I try to, wait till everyone's food comes till you start eating, be polite.
Sure.
And like, they started kind of notice that after a little bit. And they're like, Danny, like you start eating immediately. Like if you get your food, just start eating. And then at the same time, it's almost kind of just like been this weird coincidence where like, there's always something wrong with my order, like in the kitchen or whatever. Like they, didn't do it right or forgot or whatever. And it's like always mine. And like, they're like, can you pick someone else, please? Now we're going to have to wait even longer. So it's a little bit of a battle on our team.
Oh, I love it. Well, thanks for this, Danny. Great to chat to you. Hope you have a great rest of the season. Good luck at the trials. And looking forward to seeing you in some Tier 1 slams later this year as well.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you so much to Matt and Danny. Busy week for both of them. Matt, in particular, was able to squeeze us in right before he started at the PointsBet Invitational. Very packed curling calendar right now, especially for the Canadian teams. A lot of them went right from the Masters to the PointsBet. They'll get less than a week off. Then they will be in Nisku. It's going to be a phenomenal time. We're excited for Nisku. You can still get your tickets, by the way, gsoctickets.com. But that's it for us this week. Robbie and I will be back next week, probably recapping the AMJ Masters, the PointsBet Invitational. setting up NISCU. I believe there's some more rule changes coming down the pipe, some format changes. We know it's going to be an experimental year for the Grand Slams. You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you're subscribed as well. And if you want to see a video of this episode, it's available on our YouTube and now on Rock Channel. Every episode of the Broom Brothers available there as well. We're on every social media. Just look up the Broom Brothers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. And we will see you back here next week. Bye.